Greetings to all Tomodachi Life fans. The latest Tomodachi Life Living the Dream game is fully playable in PC now with no issues and no crashes. And if you're interested in this and you want to know how, then this guide is what you want. So first of all, what you need is that you'll need to have a copy of all these 4 files that I've highlighted here in my folder. You'll need to have the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream in XE file format, which you got from your physically owned Tomodachi Life game. You'll also need the latest firmware and product keys from your Nintendo Switch, at least a version 21.0.1 for both firmware and product keys. And also you will need to have the latest Canary build for Ryubing Emulator. But before you follow this guide, I need you to agree that you have already purchased a legal copy. I mean, you own a physical copy of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, because we do not condone any piracy here in this guide, so be sure to own the game. And also be sure that you also own a Nintendo Switch console itself. So once you agree to this, then you can proceed into the guide. So now go to Google and just type in Ryubing Emulator. Later, hit search. Then go to their official GitHub page. And then scroll down and look for what it says that you can find the Canary releases here. Click on that. And then the latest Canary build for this version is 13278. As I'm recording this video tutorial, this is the latest build. So be sure to get the installers that you need. So there are for Linux, there are for Steam Deck, and there are for Mac OS. So be sure to get the one that you need. But in this video tutorial, we'll be focusing more on the installation process of this game into our PC. To Windows. So be sure to get the Windows version here and download it now. Since I already have the file, I'm just gonna minimize this and I'm just gonna open the folder where I have it. So again, this is the file. To install this emulator, all you have to do is just create a new folder, name it Ryubing Canary, and then open the zip file that you have downloaded. Then select all the files that is inside the zip file, drag and drop them into the folder here. Once done, close the zip file and then open the folder. Then double click on Ryubing's application to run the emulator now. So that's how easy it is. So I'm just gonna delete this folder because I have already installed Ryubing into a different drive. So I'm just gonna open that instead. So I'm just gonna assume that you have already installed Ryubing Emulator, run it now. And if this is your first installation, your Ryubing Emulator will look empty and it will need some system files from your Nintendo Switch before you can play any Switch games with it. So again, the files that you need are these 3 files here. The XE file format of Tomodachi Life, the firmware, and the product keys of your Nintendo Switch. Now, if you're asking me on how to get these files, the most legal way to do this is that you own a Nintendo Switch console itself and you have fully modded them. Okay, you have fully modded them and installed a custom firmware, because if it has a custom firmware, that means that you now have full access with your Nintendo Switch console. That's the only way to get the firmware and product keys. Okay, so once you have done that, transfer them to your PC. Now, in order for you to game, there is no other way around this, but you should purchase the game legally, own a physical copy of it, and once you own that, you can dump the game into an XEI file format, just like here. Now, if you don't know how to mod or install custom firmware, or don't know how to dump a physical copy of the game that you have purchased, but you own the game and you own the console, then this is the next step for you. Just be sure to own the console and the game, okay? So prepare your mobile phone, scan this QR code here with your QR code reader so that you'll be redirected to the page wherein you can get all of that files. So just be sure to follow all of the instructions there so that you'll get the XEI, the product keys, and the firmware. And I'm just going to assume that you have them. If you have downloaded them via your mobile phone, just be sure to transfer them into your PC via USB cable or Bluetooth. And I'm going to assume that you have these files now. Let's install them now in Ryubing Emulator. So open Ryubing Emulator, go to the Actions tab here, install keys, .keys, create a new folder, name it keys, just like mine here, open that, and then open wherein you have downloaded the files with a QR code that I provided. Just open the product keys here, that zip file, minimize that, and then select the prod.keys here, drag and drop them into this folder here, and just select the prod.keys file. Hit open, hit yes, and hit OK. And then once you're done, close on the zip file, then go to actions again. Let's install install firmware, XCI and zip file. Then locate on the firmware file again. You will get this file via the QR code that I provided. Select version 21.0.1, hit open, hit yes, and hit OK. Congratulations, your installation for the system files is now successful. You'll know it is successful because right down here below it says version of the firmware, which is 21.0.1, and also if you have switched games into your PC, it will now be detected and it will show you the game icon of that game. And as you can see here, this is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Now the next step is to optimize this game so that there will be no crashes, no black screens or issues with the game. To do that is just look for Tomodachi Life, right click on the game icon of the game, click on Edit Custom Configuration, and in this part just be sure to pause the video and copy every setting you see here. Again, just be sure to pause the video. The game directories is where you will store your Switch games. It can be anywhere into your PC, but be sure that it's in an SSD drive because that is much faster than the regular or the old HDD drive. Once you're done, go to input. It's better that you use a controller when playing Switch games. It's really easy that way, so be sure to connect your PC, Xbox, PlayStation, or better yet, your Nintendo Switch Pro controller here. Map them up according to your liking, and if your controller is starting to drift, be sure to change the dead zone for both left and right sticks. Change them to 0.20 and your drifting issues will be fixed. Once you're done, go to System. And in here, you could change the system region and language time zone to whatever you prefer. And in recent setting here, change this to Switch. Be sure to check on FS integrity checks. DRAM size should be in 4 GB. In CPU, you should check on PPDC. Memory manager mode should be in host and check. Turbo mode should be in 200%. Now go to graphics. Graphics backend should be in Vulkan. Preferred GPU is a dedicated graphics card, at least a GTX 1060, and you'll be able to play this game easily. Graphics backend multi-threading should be auto. Features enhancement, enable shader cache, and enable macro HLE, so be sure to check both. Resolution scale, 2x resolution, because that's my monitor resolution. But if you have a powerful PC, a graphics card, then you can go for 4K resolution. I can, but I will not because my monitor is only 1440p. Now, native resolution, if you have an old CPU, graphics card, and a laptop, so be sure to change to native. Now for anti-aliasing, I have set mine to SMA Ultra. If you have an old PC, just go for none or FXAA. Scaling filter, FSR, set to 50%. If you have an old PC having performance issues, change this to linear. And the strobe filtering, 16 times. But for you can change this to auto or 2 times. Now, aspect ratio, 16:9, because that's my monitor aspect ratio. Once you're done here, go to audio. Audio backend set to SDL3. Volume set to 100, or you can change this to 80 or whatever you like. Once you're done, hit apply and hit save. Congratulations, your Tomodachi Life Living the Dream game will now fully run in your PC easily. So a little bit of disclaimer, I will not be able to show you guys a gameplay of this game running to my PC because we all know how strict Nintendo is and they do not support this kind of content. So if I showed you a gameplay that Tomodachi Life is running perfectly in Ryubing Emulator for PC, then my channel will be taken down, my videos will be taken down, and that will be excellent. And I don't want that to happen, but I am willing to compromise a little bit, and that's why I will try to boot up the game into the title screen. So I'm just gonna do that now, and I'm just gonna blur the screen from here on out so that Nintendo will not be able to hit me with any of their copyright strikes into my channel. And again, please do understand I can't show you any gameplay at all, but the game will run smoothly. I have tried and tested and played it. So Tomodachi Life Living the Dream runs perfectly in Ryubing Emulator. So I have not installed any mods yet, any 60 FPS mod, graphical enhancement mod to the game, and it runs well. That would be on a separate video. So I'm just gonna stop the emulation from here. So as long as you have followed all the steps that I've shown you in this guide, you'll be able to place Tomodachi Life Living the Dream to your PC with no issues at all. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of this game, then just leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer all of them as fast as I can. So please do subscribe to my channel because that will help me out. Thank you for watching. See you next time and goodbye for now.